Hello and welcome back to my channel about life in... Let's see where we got this asparagus from. Cyprus. Today I'm going to take you along with me to pick wild asparagus. I did this for the first time with my father-in-law, and it's actually a really different asparagus than the one you find in the supermarket. The one in the supermarket is much thicker and I want to say a bit sweeter, whereas this wild one is much thinner and a little bit more bitter. And I'm hoping by the end of this video you can also spot them and pick them, because they're actually everywhere here in Cyprus and I just didn't know how to see them. So let's start with where and when. So this wild asparagus grows all over the Mediterranean, in Cyprus, in Italy, in Greece, and in Spain. I am specifically going to talk about Cyprus because that's the place where I live and the only place where I have actually picked wild asparagus. In Cyprus, you need to get to rocky hillsides or coastal dunes or where olive trees grow. Basically, the asparagus wants light and well-drained soil, which is also why actually this wild asparagus is not farmed anywhere. I don't think there's a single farm because it's really hard to get these bushes in flat farmland. So just keep in mind, if you go to the market and you see someone selling wild asparagus, they will have gone out and picked it themselves, which is also why it's really expensive actually. And the season to pick this is late winter to early spring because the asparagus does need quite a bit of rainfall. After the spring, when summer comes, the thorns of the plant just get too thick, which you will see now. So now let's get into how do you even find the asparagus, which was really hard for me in the beginning because you really need to train your eye to see it because it camouflages really well and your eyes kind of adapt throughout the day as you're looking for more and more. Luckily, my father-in-law is an expert at this. He has been doing this for, I asked him for how many years and he didn't even know. I think it's something that he just kind of did as a child already. So he would see a bush from meters away and he would just point at it and he would be like, that bush has a lot of asparagus in it. And I'm like, oh, that looks like weeds to me. I have no idea. So it's very helpful if you have someone with you who knows the area or who's done this before. But if you don't, hopefully my video here will help. Once you find this bush, it's a thorny kind of gray-brown bush. You need to find the new growth of this bush. So this bush is the wild asparagus that has already dried out. And that's what you see. That's the brown thorny bits. And you need to look inside to find these green new growths. These are the asparagus that we want to pick and that we can eat. It's really hard to see this green in the beginning. You need to really have a close look. And many are also inside the bush. They're not poking out, which is why I highly recommend taking a stick with you, which in the beginning I didn't understand why we needed a stick to collect plants. But as you can see here, it's actually really helpful because a lot of the asparagus is actually inside the bush and you can't see it, and obviously you can't access it if you aren't able to move these thorny bushes aside. And do not underestimate how thorny these bushes are. I think it's nearly impossible to get no scratches, but let me tell you some equipment and tools that you can take with you that are definitely going to help. Well, first of all, the clothes that you are going to wear, please keep in mind that you are going to get dirty. They might rip from the thorns. Do not wear your favorite clothes. Wear something comfy, and ideally I would recommend something long sleeved to also cover your lower arms because they are going to get in some spiky little bits. I also recommend wearing gloves. When my father-in-law first said that I had to wear gloves, I was like, oh, come on, how bad can it be? And in the end, I was so glad that I had them because they really protected my hands. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna say it another 3 times. These thorns are no joke. They are really hard. They're really long and super sharp. Please wear some comfortable shoes. Everyone has a different idea of what comfortable shoes are. I wore wellies because it had just been raining a few days before and it was quite muddy where we were, so that worked for me. My father-in-law was just wearing his comfiest trainers. Totally up to you, whatever you feel comfortable in. I would say just wear a shoe that you would wear for a long walk in a hilly place with your friend. A stick, as I mentioned, which I would have never thought to bring a stick. I would say the stick is a bit more of an advanced item. You can get away without the stick, you just won't be able to reach the plants that are inside the bush, which honestly is where we found some of the best ones, but it's optional, I would say. And obviously a bag for collecting all your asparagus that you are going to take home with you and make lots of yummy food with. And you get plus points if you have an off-road car, because the place where we went would have not been accessible with a normal car. And I think a lot of places that are easily accessible with a normal car, people come quite quickly and pick the asparagus. Whereas if you have an off-road car and you can go to a little more off-roady places, there is a much higher likelihood that you are going to find some asparagus. All right, now that we know where to go and what to take with us, let me tell you what and actually how to pick the asparagus. So you need to find the green, thin stems that are still smooth and straight. Ideally, you want no side branches. As you can see here, after a while, the asparagus starts to like open on the sides, and this is where the like branchy, thorny bits are gonna come from, because these are really gonna toughen up in a few weeks. If you start seeing too many side branches, then you can't pick it anymore. I mean, you can, but it's really tough and it's not gonna taste good, so you might as well just leave it. For the actual picking, you do not pull the plant out. You actually like bend it, you kind of snap it off, and it should snap off really easily. It should still be really soft. If you start to like bend it over and you realize there's no snap, it's not coming off, either try a little bit further up, because obviously the further up you go, the like newer and fresher the growth is. But if you're in the top few centimeters and it's still not coming off easily, you need to leave it. Actually, I only realized when I was seeing the thin green asparagus branching off like that, that these bits of asparagus, these green growths, are the same plant as the thorny bush that they're in. I don't know, maybe it's really obvious to some people, but I thought that this green asparagus was a different plant to the thorny bush, and it grows within the thorny bush for protection. And then I was asking my father-in-law, like, how does that work? You know, like, how does this plant grow in the same bush every year? And yeah, then he explained to me that this asparagus is the thorny bush. Like, they're the same plant, they're just new and old growths.
250.
Wow. You guessed very well.
I said 250?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Here we go. Look at it. So cute. So pretty. So I'm going to cut it into slightly smaller bits. I don't know how much this stuff is going to shrink, if it's like spinach and it gets like a lot smaller when you cook it, or if that's not going to happen at all. Honestly, I have no idea. We are just trying stuff out. Usually in Cyprus, traditionally, you eat this with egg, but I don't eat animal product, so I'm gonna make like a scrambled tofu with it. I don't make scrambled tofu very often, and I have never cooked this wild asparagus, so it is definitely an experiment for me. I'm not sure if I can keep doing this video. Oh my god, my eyes hurt so much. Eek! While I was out there and picking the asparagus, I just kind of had this feeling of this is how we're meant to get food, how we're meant to collect food, and it's just that connection of food takes time to grow, and it takes certain conditions and certain time of the year, and obviously with farming and all that, we've completely skipped all of this. I'm glad we have, because I don't want to have to go out foraging for 2 hours every time I want to make lunch, but it's just a nice reminder that food doesn't just magically appear on shelves, you know? It takes a lot of effort and time for food to be grown. And then let's put it in. I also added some onions and garlic. I've been in Cyprus long enough to know that you can't have anything in the whole world without lemon on top. Let's put lemon on top. Good. And I most definitely know this is not the traditional Cypriot way to eat this. But I want to try something new. Oh, that's good. Oh, they're a little bitter. Okay. I'm surprised at how good that is. Things just taste better when you had to work to get them a little. As I'm eating this, remembering the bushes that we went into and collected all this. Yeah, like the food comes with a memory, which is really special.